Listen carefully. There is something almost no one is willing to talk about. When a woman begins to grow older or loses the man she once shared her life with, people often rush to assume that something inside her has also disappeared, as if her emotions, her desires, and her ability to love have somehow faded away completely. But nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is, the human heart does not recognize age. The heart only understands what has been lived, the wounds carried quietly inside, and the circumstances life leaves behind. And today we are going to explore a subject that is rarely spoken of, not because it lacks meaning, but because many people simply are not ready to hear it. Because it touches one of the deepest parts of what it means to be human. The emotional loneliness of a woman who has lost someone, yet still feels life moving inside her. Before we go further, if you're new to this channel, subscribe and give this video a like now so that it may reach others who also need it. This channel is built for men who want the honest truth about relationship dynamics that most people are too uncomfortable to talk about. And if what I just described sounds familiar at all, even slightly, I need you to grab the Magnetic Masculinity ebook in the description. I put 15 years of studying these dynamics into that guide. Not to make you paranoid, to give you the clarity that took me years to develop in a fraction of the time. It is in the description right now. Grab it. The link is below, so when a woman at this stage begins to feel someone, she rarely expresses it openly. There are no dramatic actions, no obvious words. Everything happens quietly, with subtlety, with slowness, yet also with incredible depth. Because this is not an ordinary emotion. It is something that rises from a hidden place in the heart. A place difficult to explain through words alone. But before we understand the signs, there is something important we need to realize. A woman like this does not only carry the present, she also carries the weight of her past, the losses she has endured, the memories she protects, and the questions she never dared to say aloud. On the surface, she may seem strong, but deep within herself, she is often fighting a loneliness no one else can see. And society is often quick to tell her how she should feel, what she should leave behind, and how she should continue living. Yet, there is something people often forget. The human heart remains alive even when everything around it has changed. And when that heart begins to feel again, that is where the inner conflict begins. Because it is not only attraction that appears, fear arrives too, along with doubt and the questions that echo again and again inside her mind. What will people think? Is it truly right for me to feel this again? Do I still deserve the chance to fall in love once more? Am I somehow betraying my past? Will he truly understand me? And in the middle of all those doubts, without even realizing it, small silent signs begin to reveal themselves. Subtle signs, yes, but deeply meaningful ones. The first sign appears in her eyes. A woman like this does not look carelessly. Her gaze carries caution. When she begins to feel something for you, she may look at you for only a brief moment, offer a soft smile, and then quickly pull herself back, as though two sides of her are quietly in conflict. One side longs to move closer, the other fears making a mistake by taking that step. And that is where things begin to reveal themselves because the eyes can never completely hide the truth. The second sign shows itself in the way she responds to what you say. Suddenly, even the smallest things you tell her begin to carry deeper meaning. Have you eaten? You seem tired. Are you all right? To anyone else, these may sound like ordinary words, but for her, they create a quiet emotional tension that touches something deeper in her heart. Even her voice begins to shift. It becomes softer, warmer, more intimate. She begins remembering the little details about you, not because she is trying to, but because you have started to matter to her. And without either of you realizing it, an emotional bond quietly begins to form. The third sign is perhaps the deepest of all. It happens when she begins to include you in her silence. A woman who has experienced loss does not easily allow someone into the private space of her solitude. That space is sacred. It is where she keeps her sorrow, her sleepless nights, and the thoughts she has never shared with anyone else. But when she begins to say things like, "The house feels so empty," or "Sometimes I feel very alone," or "I struggle to sleep at night," these are no longer just passing words. They are the slow opening of a door. It is a sign that trust is beginning to grow, because not everyone is invited into another person's loneliness. And when that happens, it is not only conversation that begins. A deep emotional connection begins to take shape. And little by little, without either of you fully noticing, two hearts begin to move closer together. Not through dramatic words, but through silence, through attention, and through simple presence. Because in the end, every human being longs for exactly the same: